because I'm live right now. I'm glad to be here. Happy wonderful Wednesday to you. Like I said, I'm really working on making sure I post here on this platform because I have been other places, and the majority of my people, let's put it that way, are here, and that's where I should have been at in the first place. But I'm going to tell you what made me aware or open my eyes to that was the transition of Fran. Certain things will happen, and then a fog will you know move from your from your brain, brain fog, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Ah, that's what I used to do, and that's what that we would have all these wonderful conversations based on the live that I had, or something that she was critiquing me on. So yeah, it's a little nostalgia right here, but it's good. It's a good nostalgia. So anyways, thank you for joining. And if you are on the line, please make sure you click and say hello. Just give me a thumbs up because I'm not always able to see a running comment tab right here. And I am going to double check and see if I can see it on a separate screen. So just give me one moment and then we'll go ahead and get into the reading for today. All right. Okay, I see that. Let's see if I can go in there and turn off that. So that's working. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so very much for those that are watching that popped in. I'm using the regular Rider Waite deck. It's a traditional deck, and this happens to be Fran's deck. So I just feel like this week I want to just give acknowledgement to Fran for presenting me with the cards, because if it had not been for Fran giving me my first set of cards, well, she tossed them. She tossed them to me, and I threw them back in her lap. If she had not done that, I would not be reading cards today. She knew and she could see that, oh, this is something you need to be doing because of what you do already, which was we would speak, and every day I'd be at her house. She'd have a huge oak tree in the backyard. We'd sit under this tree, and I would share something that I would say I would intuit, and then comes to find out it would be correct. And so that was what prompted her to give me the cards and said that I needed to really hone in on that skill, my gift. And that scared me because I had come from a background in Catholicism and divination, using the cards, all of that stuff is considered taboo, evil, whatever else, all these little spookism things. And it's so far from that, but I understood as I continued to develop that skill why religious organizations, people in leadership positions, even in the political arena, could tell you that this was evil when all of those persons were also using their own form of divination. Um, yeah, the politicians use astrology. They are looking at their horoscope, they're looking at where the planets are aligned at. There's gematria, there is numerology. All of these different things are being used in religion and politics. Gematria and numerology is very, very big in religion. Even though they're not going to call it numerology, but everything is, 40-day span, 3 days and 3 nights, and all of those things were connected to an astrological divining. There's also divination tools that were being used in the Old Testament, and they did not go out of use, they just stopped speaking about it in the New Testament. So therefore, no one ever picks up on it again. There's only a few instances in the Bible that shows where a prophet, a king, reaches out to a so-called witch, the witch of Endor, to ask about his fate, his outcome, and this particular war that they had going on, and she began to divine to him through the prophet uh, Elijah. Some organizations, some religions will say she didn't tell the truth. However, it wasn't that she didn't tell the truth. It's just that he only asked a certain thing, and so she only divined a certain thing. And so what she divined did come true. The whole point is that this king, which at this point in the historical time frame, all witches and those that divined were banished, except for this one particular witch. And when I look at that, I see that what they were doing were banishing all of those so-called charlatans, because people were popping up everywhere saying that they could read and they could do this and that. And that happens today. Many charlatans are pretending to read, reading verbatim out of the book, reading the definition out of the book, when those descriptions of each card are only that, descriptions that you're supposed to use as part of um, divining and intuiting the answer. So anyways, that's just a little bit of stuff, you know. So I give thanks to Fran for helping me see that and not to be afraid. I soon put down my fear about it, but that was because I became educated. Yeah, that's how. And the education didn't come from only her. It was my education in the different occult communities, occult literature, or the study of the occult by secular authors, so that I could get a balanced view of whether a modality or a spiritual practice was looked upon as negative or wicked, evil, or was it for the curious, or were those that were in fear of those that practice? Was it because of the loss of power, lack of control of the people? So, you know, all of that goes into why people put up these barriers regarding learning a certain tool, right? I don't know how many people, when I was growing up, it was a lot of us, but we would make sure to read our horoscope in the paper. And then we were in Sacramento. The Sacramento Bee had the horoscope. And we'd read that. I had to read it before I go to school. So, you know, to my surprise, here I'm become an adult, and I hear that Nancy Reagan had her own personal astrologist. And according to some persons, she had been warned that something was going to happen to her husband, or that something of a very serious nature, because of the way the planets were aligned, that there would be some serious thing that was going to occur, and it did. There was an assassination attempt on his life, and he was shot. So I'm sure she is not going to let anybody tell her that astrology is wicked, because heck, it saved her husband's life. I'm sure she did reiterate to him, hey, be careful today, because this is what's been spoken of in the stars and in the planets and with the moon and the sun, right? So anyway, okay. So this is energy for today. I'm going to tell you, yesterday's reading was so on point. I didn't know where it was going to happen. I wasn't looking for it. I just know based on the reading that something was going to happen in regards to needing to keep my mouth shut. And by the evening, guess what? I needed to have kept my mouth shut. As soon as I started to open my mouth and voice my opinion about something, I was like, oh, that was in today's reading, something was going to come up. And sure enough, it did. And so, and it was with people I didn't even really know. So I didn't need to voice my opinion. And that was the best thing ever, that I figured that piece out. Oh gosh, that was wild. That was wild. So yes, the cards never lie. People do, cards don't. They show up and they show out. Okay, so the first card I'm pulling is the Devil. It's a major arcana, so it's affecting a major aspect of our life. I'm going to give the reading in just a second. We're going to pull the cards first. And the second card is the Four of Pentacles. However, it shows up reversed. So Four of Pentacles. All right. Third card. Oh, this is going to be a better read. Six of Wands. That showed up yesterday, but it was reversed. So I'm glad to see it right now. Six of Wands. And Judgment. And that one shows up reversed. That's a good card to show up reversed. Definitely so. There you go. So I'm only feeling like to pull 4 cards. So that's what I'm doing. The Devil. Ooh, this is really, I'm going to tell you, if this isn't the Virgo's card, I don't know what it is. Because the Virgo, we're in Virgo season, and the Virgo is constantly overthinking. Even to the point that they'll lose sleep over it. I lose sleep over it. I think we don't think about anything in particular. I'm a Virgo, and it can be the minutest thing, and it doesn't even have to be bad, right? It doesn't even have to be challenging, and then my brain will spiral and think of all these different scenarios, even if it's good. My brain is all over the place, like, oh, what if this, and what if that, and okay, I can do it this way. That's what happens to me. So today's energy is showing that we might be too much in our head about something. Okay, we might be too much in our head about something. So the next card is the Four of Pentacles. However, I did say that showed up reverse. So I like that. This reverse means that we're not stagnant. When it's forward like this, it means you're not going forward or backwards. You're staying put. Holding on to something and not making it grow. But it showed up reverse. That's good. So in connection to this Devil card got you all caught up in your mind. You think you're bound and trapped in this idea, or trapped just overthinking something, like there's no way out, there's no way up, there's no way down. You're just cycling. This is that card. It's cycling. So something today, you might be cycling in your mind over and over again. And so it's really important to let it go and tell the brain that it's not necessary to keep thinking, because whatever it is, it's not going to change until you change. So the only thing that can change is you stepping out and doing something different, either about the situation or releasing and letting go of the worry in connection to the situation. Because look, this card right here, the Four of Pentacles, is reversed. So here and it's dealing with the mundane affairs, things pertaining to regular life, not some woo-woo spiritual stuff, but just regular stuff. It could be your work, it could be your job, it could be education, school, because school is starting up right now for a lot of people, whether they're in elementary, high school, or college. We could be worried about things like that. So here, this card is saying it's okay to let it pass on by. Just let it roll by. And you're going to fare better for it. This card shows up. There's balance. And in that balance, you're going to be able to create. You're going to feel the freedom to create. The reason why I say that is because he is sitting on the horse. And I very rarely pay attention to the horse right there. But he's sitting on his horse. And the horse is in the state of galloping. You can kind of look at it. The horse feels like a little regal, And even though the young man has red, so he's passionate, he's got yellow underneath. You can see that at his hip. He's in a creative space. And so right here, the people that are around him, the extra wands, they also are supporting that creative space. So whatever it is that you've got, that you're working on, let your energy flow into that. And if you've got to overthink anything, let your overthinking be in that place, in your creative space. And here is the No Judgment card. It showed it reversed. And so this is really about you judging yourself or criticizing yourself. This card is really admonishing you to not criticize yourself by it's showing it reversed. So, okay, so you're overthinking a lot of stuff, but don't be too critical. Don't be too down on yourself, especially if this is a pattern. Now is the time to acknowledge the pattern and then move and shift from that, So this is a good card. I like this card. I like the whole set, the series, especially me, because like I said, I lost sleep from thinking about what I could create. So I need to create a better time. And these pentacles look like clocks, right? So create a better time, not at nighttime, not at nighttime, to be overthinking what I'm creating, and not to be too hard on myself, right? So that's for all of us. So whatever's going on, that if you've lost any sleep lately, or sleep seems to be a little bit challenging, then the admonition is to shut down those extra thoughts so that you can create something better. Okay? So anyways, okay, I'll be back tomorrow with the additional read. Tomorrow is Thursday. Boy, this year is happening so fast, and we're moving into the autumn flare, the autumn season, also known as Mabon. Mabon, M-A-B-O-N. And then that's rolling into Samhain. Looks like S-A-M-H-A-I-N, otherwise known as Halloween. It's my favorite time of the year. Anyway, if you have any questions, you're definitely able to DM me. If you would like a personal reading, let me know, and then we can go ahead and schedule. I will never come to you and say, hey, this is happening in your life. I'm going to inbox you, or I'm going to DM you and then ask you to pay me some money. I'm not doing that. Somebody was scamming like that a long time ago, and I had to shut that person down. So if you have a question, or you have a thought, or you need some clarity, you can come to me and then we will talk from that point, okay? Thanks, and I appreciate you tapping into my live today. I'll be back tomorrow. Ashe, choo choo.